Who else is waiting here? Let's get this started.
Is it getting better or worse for women?
I would say that it's decreasing.
Weren't you one of the people that said that society is becoming less patriarchal?
Yes.
And simultaneously, life is getting worse for women, right?
I would say
I tried finding someone to debate you. Big name debater said no.
What is our direction? What is our path? Is it getting better or worse for women?
So I thought it would start with that clip. I thought that was funny. The guy says, he can't find it. He says the chairman of the ACP, Haz Al-Din, is undefeated on every topic to the point that nobody is willing to debate him. Well, Liquid Zulu has a different opinion on that because he just debated Liquid Zulu recently and he got destroyed. So I thought I'd like to start that off with a clip here to show the kind of integrity this person has. You can go watch the debate, and you can even go watch my analysis of that debate, how Liquid Zulu destroyed him. Even some guys said here, Michael the Libertarian, Liquid Zulu ran circles around that brainlet. Excuse me, then I think. He keeps getting felted in here. Haz Al-Din is a retard who got raped by Liquid Zulu because he cannot decide whether he's determinist or believes in free will. He can't even universalize his own theory of deterministic history because he thinks trivial actions are random, ergo non-deterministic. Yeah, that's pretty much my conclusion as well. So yeah, you can go watch. This is Cosmic Operation who shared this clip and made the claim that no one is willing to debate him, but Liquid Zulu did debate him. Even Praxpin debate. I did analysis of that yesterday, so you can go watch that video too. So that's what we've been doing today. So I'm just going to wait here for a minute before we get started into today's topic, because usually sometimes people show up a little late. So, and then they'll say, well, what happened to the topic? Well, I spent like the last hour talking about it. You're a little late. So this time I'll do the opposite here. Yeah. Let's see. So there's his channel. And there's where you can find him out on Kick, Instagram, Twitter. So feel free to follow him on those platforms, and you can felt him all you want. You can roast him. I don't know, do whatever you need to do. This microphone. Yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah, so there's this social netting. So that's who we're going to be talking about today. An analysis discussion. So welcome. Settle in, and you're in for a ride. Well, yeah. So what else was on this clip here? Anything else on here? Let's see. I have to go to following instead. Probably a lot of you people watched the Liquid Zulu analysis of the red-blue button thing. I know people have their own sort of takes on it. Okay. Was there any other funny clips on here? Yeah. Let's see what the heck's going on here. So as usual, this analysis will be through the radical objectivist and narco-capitalist and agorist lens. I'll recommend some videos of it you can watch. You can kind of decide for yourself. And soon as
I'll wait a few more minutes before I get started into my analysis. Let's see. I've got that open. All right.
I like in that clip, people were making fun of. I know I was making fun of Hassan Piker for reading that book, "What Is to Be Done." Now, see, okay, that's not the original book. The original book, "What Is to Be Done," was written by a Russian called Cherzovinsky. That's his name. And in this book, I think the main protagonist is a woman. And I remember the final chapter of the book, or towards maybe the second to the last chapter. I can't remember which. It's been a while since I read that book. This is the book that inspired Lenin to write his book, "What Is to Be Done." And so, like, the final chapter of that book, "What Is to Be Done" by Cherzovinsky, is the dream sequence. There's a dream this woman has of where their commune has converted a desert into a lush green paradise, turning a wasteland into a paradise, where people are living in glass and aluminum houses, and they're not really doing anything except for just like painting pictures and reading French poetry. It's a book that inspired Lenin to write his own version, and that was the version that Hassan Piker supposedly is reading on that train, where he has the book open, "What Is to Be Done," but it's not by Cherzovinsky. It's not the original book. It's Lenin's book. And if you look closely at Hassan Piker, he's reading there. Let's see, where the heck? Let me go back. There's a spot in there.
Decreasing.
Let me go. I'll see if I can pause it at the spot. Yeah, there it is. Okay, see? "What Is to Be Done." And naturally, he's not reading Cherzovinsky's book. He won't know the references. There are references in this book, Cherzovinsky's book, that are, if you're a socialist or communist, like Lenin, you'll get the references. And Lenin had read this book, "What Is to Be Done." He just read it and kept reading it, analyzing it, writing in the margins. In fact, the version of the book I have actually has the notes that Lenin made in his version of the book. Then he took everything from that book and wrote his own version of it. And Hassan Piker here, if you look closely, he's not reading it. I don't know what the hell that has to do with the top. There it is. Look, notice something here. Notice something. Is he reading this book? He's not reading. He's not reading nothing. Look at the pages. He's reading the back cover. There's the front cover. There's the first page, or that's just like the blank page, and there's probably the copyright on it and when it was published. And then they have another page. He's not reading this book. He's not reading it at all. Like I say, if he was really smart, which he's not, Hassan Piker would read the original Cherzovinsky book and understand the references and why it was so inspirational to people like Lenin. What were the inspirational points in this book that Lenin was inspired by? Yeah. So you might. I recommend reading Cherzovinsky's book first. Don't read Lenin's yet. But this guy's an idiot. He's reading Lenin's version. And he's not reading it at all. He's looking at the front cover there. Well, the guy probably doesn't read. He's probably never read any of this stuff. He's not a theoretician. He's not a philosopher. Hassan Piker is just a useful idiot. He's a grifter. I already covered this in the last couple of videos. I'm not going to waste time. But just look at what a liar this guy, what an idiot this guy is. Like, he's really reading that. He's just reading a blank page. Oh, he's so intellectual. Okay. So, shall we just dive right in with my mic? Nobody will debate him. He only has 5,000 670 odd subscribers. He's uploaded 85 videos that has 334,000 views. There's his gain or minus, whatever look at it. Plus 1,386 minus 17, 2.5. 0.25, and the subscribers plus 2.35% ranked 4.5 million. His monthly earnings are $36. The average video length is 74 minutes. Upload frequency, 0 uploads per week. Really? Videos. There's going to be some videos in here that I recommend you watch. Every time I see that swastika there, swastika, slip. Every time I see the hammer and sickle, swastika, same thing. same symbolism. Different meaning, but same symbolism, though. Same kind of symbolism. The rise of MAGA Communism. Pro-Palestine, retard. So these are the videos he uploads? Let's see what the more popular ones are. Refuting every claim made in the nonsense of MAGA communism. Fact checked. No. Has on silence leftists in MAGA communism debate. Okay, so let's get into it. I think I'm ready. Just leave his ugly mug up there for you to gawk at. Okay, let's get into it now. I'm ready. I just thought I'd give you a few more minutes than usual, let people to kind of settle in a little bit and leave some comments. So through radical objectives, anarcho-capitalist agrarist lens, we're going to be looking at Haz Al-Din, infrared at Haz Al-Din at infra-Haz. Is a pseudonymous Lebanese-American political commentator, streamer, and self-described Marxist-Leninist. I wonder if he's actually read Cherszynski's book, What Is to Be Done. Okay, so he's a Marxist-Leninist. Oops, I got to change the color. That's better. Okay, and he leads the Infrared Collective. It says here on his page. Yeah. An affiliation with the Infrared Show channel. Am I saying that right? Infrared? Infrared. This channel is managed by Jay Summit. Who's Jay Summit? I don't know who that is. 2 more links. Oh, you got a few actually. Okay. Leave it up there. Okay, let's go back to my notes, my exciting notes. Let's see. He is he serves as a key figure, the chairman in the tiny American Communist Party. And that's something I pointed out in yesterday's analysis of the debate between Praxman and him, was that Praxman points out, but doesn't really go for it much, that this is a very small micro party. Just think of it as Destiny's penis. It's small and moist. Just put that image in your head, and you got this communist party. So he promotes MAGA communism. Okay, so he promotes MAGA communism or patriotic socialism. Well, I thought socialists weren't supposed to be patriotic. I thought yours would be nationalistic. So it's patriotic socialism, and it's syncretic, illiberal, left-populist ideology that tries to feud Stalinist, ML aesthetics, anti-liberal rants, class reductionism, and appeals to especially white working class Americans, populism, MAGA sentiments while rejecting woke identity politics, liberal democracy, and much of modern Western left. Okay. But that's fine. I mean, still a communist. He's still promoting a collectivist ideology. And of course, he admires the Soviet Union.
Admires the USSR. No, not that one. Not that one. And China. And China models. Yeah, all that genocide.
I'm sure he's like a Holocaust denier, too. He probably denies all the horrible stuff that went on there in the Soviet Union under Lenin and Stalin and China's Mao. He'll just apologize for it anyway. So that didn't happen. He'll probably use the standard Holocaust arguments, the why didn't happen. Oh, well, you see, those numbers are exaggerated. A lot of that information is just CIA propaganda. My favorite one that people like Haz and Hassan Piker and other people that admire socialism and the Soviet Union model. My favorite argument that these people, just like they have in common with Holocaust deniers, is why, like when you point out what socialist country failed, right? Here's a socialist country. It failed. You know what they say? They say the same thing that Holocaust deniers say. Exactly, verbatim. Well, the reason why that socialist country failed was because, and couldn't come to completion, was because of outside interference. That's key. Doesn't matter what the outside interference is. Outside outside influence. I'll put that in quotes there. Did you see? I mean, outside influence. Yeah. So they'll say that socialism failed, and it couldn't come to completion because of outside interference, outside influence. And what do Holocaust deniers say about why Hitler's socialism failed? They say the reason why Hitler's socialism failed and could not come to completion was because of, drum roll please, outside interference. It doesn't matter what the interference is. And this is typical Marxist theory anyway, is that the reason why such and such a group or such and such a country cannot be successful or is unable to be successful because of outside interference, outside influence, outside sabotage. Those are key words to remember. All Holocaust deniers and even genocide deniers like this guy will say the same excuse over and over again. Just keep that in mind. And they use euphemisms. Outside influence. Outside interruption. Just keep using these words, these different words meaning exactly pretty much the same thing. So I'm sure this guy, since he admires the Soviet model and the China model, is that he's going to be a genocide apologist. He's going to be like a Holocaust denier. Oh, no, those numbers are exaggerated. You want to read something really, really bizarre? There's a book called Beyond Belief. And it mostly focuses on what took place in the late 30s and early 40s, this research that was done about what the American, mostly focusing on the American media reaction to what was going on in Germany in the late 30s, early 40s. And all the news was coming out at the time that
this many number of Jews, that many number of Jews. They're publishing these articles, little blurbs in the New York Times and Atlantic, claiming there were like 500,000 Jews or $500,000 Polish people being sent to Poland, being deported. And she focused on the American media reaction to those numbers of what was happening in what was happening in Germany. And the reaction was beyond belief. People didn't believe it. They thought the numbers were exaggerated. They thought, no, it can't be that many Jews, that are being deported to Poland. No. Those numbers are exaggerated. Yeah, and then they would go on and give further excuses like, well, you see, don't make it a Jewish thing because they're also deporting Polish and Armenians and Gypsies too. So stop making it a Jewish thing. And then the third thing, the reason why Americans didn't believe what was happening in Germany in late 30s, early 40s, the third one was like, oh, we're not going to believe these lies again because you told us these lies about World War I, the baby killing factories, etc. So those are lies, and they were discovered to be lies, and we're not going to believe the lies again. And the final thing, they actually said this. They go, well, Hitler wasn't that bad. They actually said this in the news. He can't be that bad. Yeah. So, yeah, I recommend reading that book. I definitely read that book. The reaction of the American press to what was going on there in the late 30s, early 40s was just remarkable. It was beyond belief. So this guy is definitely probably one of these Holocaust deniers, like type genocide deniers. Now let's see. Now American populism, MAGA, as he goes on, we go in here. We talks about class reductionism. He supposedly he's appealing to working class, especially white Americans, American populism, MAGA sentiments, while rejecting identity politics. I read that. Liberal democracy, and much of the modern Western left. But see, here's the thing. Like, he may criticize liberal democracy, right, and point out its flaws, and Praxpan does, but for different reasons. I covered that in the video yesterday. And much of the Western left. Okay, so he's still promoting statism. He admires these systems I said. The Russophilic and often geopolitical anti-Western, and uses confrontational debate streaming styles with esoteric or meme jargon. Oh, so it was like PewDiePie doing the meme jargon. Mecha-tankies. So he's just what the heck is the word? Gimmicky. That's what I was saying. He's gimmicky. Liquid Zulu pointed out the flaws here. So what his output is mostly like mixing like long streams and clips, debates, and polemics. The main channel here, infrared show. Where is that show at? Infrared show. I guess. Yeah. Okay. Let me put. I guess his main channel. Main channel is. You might want to go check that out. Infrared show. Okay. So that would be the main channel to check him out and watch his videos. And when I'm done with this analysis today, I'm not doing any more on this guy. I'm going to be done with him. Unless there's something coming up, but it's not much more, really. It's just a small party that they have. And he's just, he sounds, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to give it away yet. And he has clips channel, of course, yeah. So what they do is stream, kind of like Kino Casino does the same thing. A lot of people do it. They stream for like hours, and then just clip little bits, and then they'll share the bits, the bits on a separate channel. Okay. So that's basically the introduction to this guy. And let's see how he holds up to the this three-pronged approach here. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's see how he holds up through the radical objectivist agorist lens. Let me change the color to that. And we'll be really corny and we'll underline that. Okay, there. So let's see how he holds up here under this lens here. I always use my lens. This is my worldview. I'm a radical objectivist, anarcho-capitalist agorist. Okay. So let me put this up here again so you can take a look at what we're looking at here. So from my lens here, this radical objectivist or Randian view, this guy Haz, from what I see, what I found, what I've analyzed, that he embodies like a profound rejection of reason, individualism, and objects reality in favor of collectivist mysticism. Yeah, well, if you're a communist, yeah, you embrace collectivist mysticism. Mysticism. Oops. Put too many S's there. Okay. There you go. Oops, this needs to be bigger. What's going on here? Okay. Yeah, that's better. We need bold letters. And why does this keep changing the font? I'm not using Japanese font. Anyway, what the hell is this? Okay, there. I gotta keep track of my chat here. Okay, what were you talking? Okay, so he so from my point of view, my worldview, my radical objectivist Randian view, Haz, like I said, he embodies he rejects reason, individualism, and object reality in favor of collectivist mysticism, okay, and power worship. Well, of course, it's always about power dynamics. That's what communism is power dynamics. Okay. So my view, or the objectivist view, or my holds that, that man's mind is his tool of survival, individual rights, the individual rights, not human rights, okay? Individual rights are paramount, and laissez-faire capitalism is, and I did a video about the defending capitalism, a moral defense of capitalism. You go watch that video. It is the laissez-faire free market capitalism is the only moral system, because what does it recognize? What does it recognize? It recognizes voluntary trade and property as extensions of what? What is it extension of? Rational self-interest. However, Haz's ML framework is the antithesis. It subordinates the individual to the proletariat, party, state, treats class as a mystical collective. He's a whim worshiper. Entity with moral primacy. Okay, not the primacy of consciousness. Or is it the primacy of consciousness? Does he embrace that? And he doesn't, primacy of reality. Moral primacy, and justifies initiation of force. So yeah, of course, he's going to be justifying initiation of force, like revolution and nationalization, debt cancellation via labor camps, as, of course, historical necessity. Okay. Haz's ML framework. Okay, I gotta put this phone over here. Right there. Okay, that's better. So I can type better. Okay, so his framework. Subordinates the individual to the, we'll just say state. Okay, I don't want this underlined. This is really stupid. They just kept it there. Oops. There you go. Okay, so that's his framework. Basically, like he's always a collectivist. So he thinks of the class as sort of a mystical collective entity. With the moral primacy. Okay. So, but his, however, he's what you call MAGA Communism. I don't know why that keeps staying there. So MAGA Communism equals is a particular sort of what I call grotesque package deal. So it smuggles in tribalistic, nationalistic emotionalism. Hey, this guy's like a national socialist, huh? Anti-elite populism. That sounds like Hitler. He was anti-elite populist. He was anti-bourgeois. Cultural traditionalism in places. But he, all the while, though, he's retaining the core evil of altruism, collectivism. Altruism, collectivism. Okay. This is okay. So yeah. So he maintains this idea of altruism. However, Ayn Rand, would see this as evading the fundamental choice, though, between reason, egoism versus mysticism, altruism. Haz's confrontational style, an aberration for authoritarian regimes like we touched on before, Stalinism, the CCP, reflect the whim worship. I mentioned that before, and the virtues of self. He reflects whim worship and the virtues of selfishness, inverted into a virtue of power lust and sacrifice of the able to the masses. Power lust, of course, it's always about the power. Now, his class reductionism dismisses individual agency. So his class, he called, let's, another thing. Keep track here. Class reductionism. So class reductionism, and that means he dismisses the individual agency, merit, and the trader principle. So that means any base aesthetics, anti-woke, are just superficial. That's what it means. They still will serve because they will still serve a system that destroys the mind's independence. Yeah. However, through our anarcho-capitalist Rothbardian eyes, right? Being a statist, being a statist is the enemy of liberty. Well, in fact, any existence of a state is the enemy of the individual. Whether it's minarchist or totalitarian. He would probably get totalitarian with this guy. See, I shouldn't say we, ANCAP, me, anarcho-capitalist, we reject the state because it's a monopoly, and it has a monopoly on violence and it is incompatible with self-ownership, and I'm a means to my own end, and homesteading and private property. So Hans wants a powerful centralized state. Centralized state. Well, of course you have to. Or through a revolutionary apparatus to cancel debts, create a people's national bank, enact economic bills of rights, land reform, etc. Right? Classic coercive redistribution. Classic. Central planning, as always, that violates the non-aggression principle, of course. And this is done on a massive scale. So his patriotic socialism, German National Socialism, is just another flavor of National Socialism, akin to any other third positionist. Like Hitler always claimed to be, now this guy isn't left or right. Haz isn't left or right. He's the bridge between left or right. That's what it seems like, right? Hitler says the same thing. In Rainer Zieneman's book, Hitler's National Socialism, Hitler makes this argument. Because people claim he's right or left. Hitler says, no. We're neither. We're not left or right. Our party, the NSDAP, represents a bridge between left and right. And Hitler goes even further. Totalitarian, says, I am the bridge. So this is the third positionist, like Mussolini's fascism, or Oswald Mosley's fascism, or Hitler's National Socialism. All of these third positionists or National Socialist hybrids, they aggrandize what? What do they aggrandize, people? The collective, nation, class, over the sovereign and individual. This is why I reject Trump, too, because he's a socialist. He aggrandizes the collective, America first. The nation is America first over the sovereign and individual. So now we get to the agorist part. Now we talked about sort of the core philosophy. Why in the hell does that keep changing to that all the time? Okay, agorist. It doesn't recognize it. Doesn't matter. Let's see. So, agorism, Konkin, I have some of his book, and I haven't really read him yet. Read a little bit, but I haven't done a deep dive yet. So what I understand of it is Konkin here, his critique of this, of course, is going to be the more sharpest. Because, agorist is a counter economics. So agorism, it emphasizes counter economics. So like, for example, black-gray markets or voluntary exchange bypassing the state. We eliminate the third party. Just get rid of it. They're in the way. As the path to a stateless society, okay? So like the New Libertarian Manifesto, I recommend reading that. Education and entrepreneurship undermining the empire. The empire, or the democracy, or liberal democracy. That's kind of the goal. We want to undermine it. We want competition. However, Haz operates entirely within the spectacle of political power seeking, right? So like, what does he do? He's building a party. He's doing debates and streams to recruit more for statism, allying with and polemicizing against other regime-adjacent figures, of course. So, but however, after all this package he has, what I found, he never offers a counter-economic strategy. No counter-economic strategy. Of course, because he wants to command economy. He wants the state to do it, a centralized bank. He says so. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so it's about power. It's about building a party. Um, so he wants to. So yeah, because he doesn't offer any counter economic strategy, instead he wants to seize or reform the existing coercive apparatus. It sounds like Hitler. Hitler's often said, if you wish to destroy democracy, you do it with democracy, during democracy. If you wish to destroy democracy, you do so through its own insanity. This is exactly the tactic that Hitler did study Marxism, so he understood that. So it was pretty much the same tactic. But yeah, this is what he's doing. His anti-liberalism. So again, he offers nothing counter economic strategy on, no agorism here. But instead, he wants to seize or reform the existing coercive apparatus. Yeah. So democracy, in a sense, is coercive. It's ruled by the tyranny of the majority. So he wants to use it. He wants to use democracy to destroy democracy. If you wish to destroy democracy, you do so through its own insanity. I don't know why I cannot say that right. So again, because he's anti-liberalism, this guy is like, it's just like flirting with Hitlerism. If you understand Hitler's philosophy, this guy is just really flirting with it. I'm just reading this going, man, this sounds like the same Marxist strategy they always use. Even Hitler used it. Again, he's anti-liberalism. So was Hitler. Might overlap superficially with agorist disdain for a managerial state. Now, of course, it's going to overlap. But the solution is the opposite, though. The solution here is the opposite. He wants more politics, more vanguardism, not algorithmic withdrawal and market anarchism. So no withdrawal, no escapism. No escapism. Yeah, no escapism. Yep. Again, it switched. Okay. So no escapism here. You can't, there's no alternative. So again, he's anti-liberal, his solution is more politics, more vanguardism, and not algorithmic withdrawal. It's no escape, and market anarchism. So his MAGA communism that he offers, we talked about here, it risks, what does it risk? It risks channeling populist energy into renewed statism. A form of renewed statism. A form of renewed statism. Rather than just letting it dissolve into voluntary networks. He doesn't believe in voluntarism. Okay, but here's the one thing he gets right. What does he get right? So the strengths here, what does he get to? What are the strengths? What are the strengths? We'll go on that. Again, it keeps switching back to... Okay. So the strengths here from our lens: radical objectivism, agorism, and anarcho-capitalism. So the strength here, there is some tactical overlaps here. Let me clarify that. So he does correctly identify failures of the synthetic woke left. Well, yeah, I mean, who doesn't? Any normal person can do that. Recognize that. It focuses on identity over class. Economics alienates actual workers, and liberal democracy serves elite interests. So he does have his anti-imperialist streaks. So he does critique. He does do critiquing, his aspects of critiquing of U.S. foreign policy, and he also shows a willingness to engage right populist audiences, can highlight regime hypocrisy. Man, this is just Hitler shit, man. Just courting this kind of this third position stuff is just really evil. It's really fucked up. This is really bad. Yeah, I read this. I've read dozens of books on Hitler's National Socialism, including the recent scholarship. I'm reading this like here. His willingness to engage right populist audiences. But he recognizes their weaknesses. So and he does this to highlight the regime hypocrisy. Yeah, okay. So what? Your ends are not the same as a radical objectivist, though. He does show polemics against liberal elites or Zionist influence. What a shocker. Polemics against liberal elites or Zionist influence. And he does, it's conspiratorial. It's conspiratorial. And it does tap real grievances and cronyism. Okay. But, again, socialists, all socialists are anti-Semitic. What's that quote by Goebbels? How can you not be an anti-Semite if you're a socialist? And how can you be a socialist without being an anti-Semite? Right. But all these things I just mentioned, they're undermined by his proposed cure. See, this is the problem. His cure is undermined here of a different flavor of authoritarian and collectivism that historically leads to gulags, of course, famines, and economic collapse. So it's the typical collectivist stuff. It's still National Socialism. It is flirt with Hitler's strategies, Marxist strategies too. From an agorist view, my view, it's like I said, it's better to build parallel economies than just debate your way to new party boss. Hitler had debates too. Okay, so that's when he kind of gets right. He's criticizing the system, but he wants a different cure for it. He wants to increase the state. Okay. Core flaws. Let's get into the core flaws now. Okay. So, let me put him back on the screen here before we. So we'll look at some popular, useful videos as examples here in a minute here. So, the core flaws are epistemologically, it's what? What is this? It's dialectical materialism and its historical inevitability. And this, of course, clashes with objective reason and individualism. So yes, Hegelian. Economically, though, he's ignoring incentive problems. And of course, the main one he's going to ignore is calculation debate. And he does acknowledge the problems, and knowledge problems, but dooms his vision. So yes, his calculation, he is ignoring incentive problems and calculation debates and knowledge problems. And this, of course, is going to doom his vision. I mean, his vision is probably already impaired anyway. Morally, it's evil. This is evil shit, man. Morally, it demands a sacrifice of an individual. That's it. Moral flaw that sacrifices the individual. That's the big one right there. That's the most egregious one. So morally, it is flawed. It's evil. It demands sacrifice of individual. Culturally, I mean, even if it's sort of based on sex, I was going to say gender, but don't say gender. It's sex or whatever. Enforcing it via state power violates right. He still wants enforcement. Enforcement. violates yeah. So anytime you have any kind of force, any kind of enforcement. So again, he has small followings, and of course, drama heavy scene. Of course, he's kind of a man of no substance. He's just focusing on the drama, like Hassan Piker or well, I mean, Casino does that, and they're self aware that they're drama heavy internet drama. They just go with it. They bite the bullet. He has clashes with Goipers and Hassan. Oh man, this is awful. Suggesting limited real impact beyond online spectacle. Yeah, just online spectacle. Okay. So let me summarize now. But before I get to the summary, I'm going to follow this kind of format. I'm going to produce at least 2 videos a week and do this live stream analysis of whatever I want. And then on Saturday, we'll like recap of the videos I made and this live stream and what I got right, what I got wrong, what was my strengths and weaknesses, and how can I make this better. So I'm trying to make little improvements here as I go along with my videos, get a bigger audience. So in short here, summarized, Hans represents the sophisticated mimic wizard. Hey, PewDiePie. Nothing really wrong with that per se, but if that's what you're basing your whole, if that's the crux of your whole sort of kitschy, gimmicky thing, yeah, it's just what it is, just gimmicks. It's like listening to a guitar player with a bunch of filters on and just doing. It's all smoke and mirrors and gimmicky stuff. A lot of flash, but no substance. So he's packaging old statism, which poisons an edgy populist anti-woke rapping. Yeah, well, he's a third way. He's a third positionist. A radical objectivist agorist. I see him as rival ideologue, and he is competing for the same disaffected audience. This is the problem. Now, what in Mein Kampf? This is what kind of stuff that Hitler did too. In the first chapters, well, the first chapter of Mein Kampf is about Hitler when he's a kid, and then it goes into his grievances to everybody. Hitler had his grievances to the conservatives, to the liberals, to the, you name it, the centrists and the Democratic Socialist Party. He aired out his grievances in those succeeding chapters. And this is kind of what this guy's doing here. He's airing his grievances, pointing out what's wrong, and offering a third way. He's manipulating. He's taking advantage of people that are lonely, so to speak. He's taking advantage of this loneliness, the disaffected audience, but all he's offering is the same old chains, painted in red instead of freedom. All right, so let's look at some popular videos here. Let's see. I wonder if it's on here. So the first one is Haz Al-Din on communism, MAGA, and class struggles. Jake Shields interview. Direct on blending MAGA with class focus. So let's see. We have here Haz Al-Din on communism. On communism. Communism, MAGA, and class struggles, cuddles. Let's see if it's on here. Oh yeah, here it is right there. It's the top one. It's a 2-hour video. There it is right there. Okay, so there's the video in question. Haz Al-Din on communism, MAGA, and class struggles. American Communist Party member Haz Al-Din talks to Jake Shields about communism, his view of MAGA, how he views class above things like race.
Always, God damn it, it's always the same. Like racism and that. It's that famous quote by Hitler in his third book and his secret book. Same thing. Elevates class above all things. Hitler abused race above all things. This guy's just flipping on his head, viewing class above all things. Hitler's famous quote, I am a socialist. I see before me no class or rank, only a people bounded by blood, united by language for a common will. The same shit. Just flip it. He views, instead of class above all things, Hitler views race above all things. He believes in a classless society. Okay, so there's Jake Shields' interview. And here's another video I recommend. It says, does America need communism? Halsey English. What? Whoa, okay. Does America need Haz Al-Din? Does America need communism? Debate. Halsey English. I thought he didn't debate anybody. Where is it? Does America need communism? Debate. Okay. Let me try this again. Haz Al-Din versus Halsey. I know Halsey English. Halsey English debate. Oh, here it is. Marxism. Oh, okay. I got that wrong. There's Halsey. Let's see. I know Halsey English. Sam thought was a band. Debate. Let's see what people are saying about Halsey, because I know Halsey English. Let me see the comment section. So here's one. Does America need communism? Another video I recommend. Let's see. Somebody tell Halsey that you are really going with that and acting exacerbated. It is not an argument. A system in which oppression becomes mandatory and theft becomes institutionalized. Yeah. What? That's not a, was it? A system in which oppression becomes mandatory. Yeah. And theft becomes institutionalized. And this guy put this America state right today. How is this statement wrong? So they're not addressing, as usual, the comment sections, which only represent 1% of their audience. 1% of the audience. I'm not even addressing anything in the debate. Let me see. Someone tell Halsey to breathe. Again, they're not. Again, I'm looking at the comment section here. But I like him. Well, yeah, because he's smoke and mirrors. But I don't see anything really. Yeah, I don't really see anything claim that it was a small minority of people that supported a revolution. Well, you'd have to do an analysis, but I'm not going to waste time with that. Okay. Let's see. That's another one. The American Communist Party program. Another one. Haz Al-Din New Year's Eve, New Year address, or occupied states of America speech, rhetorical style, and it's a worldview. Rhetorical style, yeah, I think it's all. So you can also find. He has lots of clips on socialism attracting weirdos, women, or debates with right-wingers. he shows the contradictions or engagement tactics. So yeah, there's some videos I recommend. I showed you a couple. I'm sure you can find a couple more of those. But yeah, those are the main one. Haz Al-Din on communism, MAGA, and class struggle. Does America need Marxism debate with Halsey English? The American Communist Party program outlines concrete policies like debt cancellation and national bank. And Haz Al-Din's New Year address or Occupied States of America speech, rhetorical style, worldview. Okay, that's what I'd recommend. Okay, so let's move on to one last thing for you. Bridging the gaps. Syncretic. Okay, so let's talk about key. For our last thing, let's talk about key comparisons to other syncretic ideologies. How does it compare? Let's see. Let's have a look-see. Okay, there. Okay. I'm trying to look. Let's see. Okay. So just to recap, his strategy here, in the syncretic, his praxeology here is he uses dialectical materialism and vanguardism to what? To articulate the partisan energy of Trumpism MAGA as a proto-socialist, national socialist force against liberal globalism, while at the same time he's rejecting liberal left cultural values as bourgeois, decadence, or Soros-funded perversion. Well, this guy's just, like I say it again, he's just using the Hitler tactic. read Rainer Ziedelman's Hitler's National Socialism. Please read that book. You'll see what I mean. This is awful shit, and people don't know it. People won't recognize this third positionist stuff. They think he's just kind of being reasonable and trying to find a wobbly center. You don't fall for that. Okay, so key comparisons here. So one of the comparisons is National Bolshevism, Nazbol. People like Ernest Nishky, Karl Otto Patel, and Alexander Dugin influences. This here, National Bolshevism. I can't say it. National Bolshevism. National Bolshevism. So this here is the closest historical and conceptual parallel. National Bolshevism. Or Hitler's National Socialism. National Bolshevism, as you know, sought to fuse the radical. Fuse is the word here. Fuses. Radical ultra-nationalism. With what? With Bolshevik economics and anti-liberal revolutionary fervor. So it's a third positionist. He's not only against, it's against, the National Bolshevism was against both capitalism and internationalist communism.
And we're talking about here German variants of the Weimar era, right? What did they blend? What were they blending? They were blending conservative revolution thought with Soviet-style collectivism. There's a modern version, Dungiest Eurasianism, updates this with multipolarity. And of course, as always, anti-Western civilization state geopolitics. And this always go beyond left and right, fourth party political theory. So what's the similarity to Haz here? It's anti-liberalism as the primary enemy. Of course, you got to have an enemy, probably Jewish. Willingness to ally or draw from right populist national basis, of course, ally without sacrificing much. State-centric economics, of course, with nationalist flavor. God, this is such old school crap. And it's an admiration for authoritarian models, of course. I pointed that out earlier, Stalinism or otherwise. It doesn't matter who it is. And critiques of globalist elites. Here has emerged as a Dungan adjacent ideas. Dugin. Adjacent ideas. And the critics cite the label MAGA Communism, an American Nazgul variant. Yeah, it's just variations of National Socialism. So you can see how Hitler ideas emerged from this. This is bad, man. You want to keep away from this. This is poison stuff, man. You want to keep away from this guy. He's trying to draw you in, man. Okay, so the differences here, though, are that Haz insists on orthodox ML foundations, that's dialectical materialism, proletarian dictatorship, and the defense of historical. We were pointing this out, the defense of historical USSR China, but he frames it as recruiting MAGA into communism, not true equal fusion. So yeah, so he wants to have his cake and eat it too. National Bolshevism often leaned more explicitly what? What did it lean more explicitly to? Ethno-nationalism or mystical. All the same. What does he prioritize here? Haz prioritizes class reductionism through culturally based. Yeah, okay. Keep away from the guy. Seriously, keep away from this Haz guy. He is poison. He's literal poison. This is like would just destroy everything he worked for. If you're a radical objectivist, just keep away from this guy. So what if you have some things in common or you agree with him a little bit? That you don't go there with that. You just say, yeah, we may agree with things, but for different reasons. But for different reasons. Okay, so next on the bullet list here. So we have Jackson Hinkle and Salib Maupin. Okay, these are direct contemporaries. So we have Jackson. Well, I'll get to what they are. Caleb. I butchered this guy's name. Okay. Who are they? There we go. As usual. Okay. So who are these people? So these are direct contemporaries or collaborators in the patriotic socialism, MAGA communism space. Okay, so Hinkle here, he was a former Bernie supporter turned ML. So what does he do? What does Hinkle do? He amplifies the brand with a high social media reach, right? Of course, pro-Russia, China, anti-Israel. Why are all the socialists anti-Semitic? Every damn one of them. Always. And socially conservative ML rhetoric. This guy Maupin, CPI, He has some overlapping with anti-imperialist or patriotic socialist tendencies. So the similarities here, they do have a shared milieu. American Communist Party involvement. Haz and Hinkle launched ACP, and they use like a tactical outreach to right populist rejection of woke left. I'm gonna say it again for anybody's joining. Avoid this guy Haz Al-Din like the plague. He is literal poison. He's a third positionist. He will destroy you. This guy is awful stuff, man. Again, I'm going to say it again for the millionth time. Go read Rainer Ziedelman's book, Hitler's National Socialism. Read that and read it again and again and again. And after you read it, when you understand and study and analyze people like Haz Al-Din, you understand what a poison this guy is. You understand how dangerous someone like can be. Sure, it may be a small party at first. Yeah, Hitler's NSDAP was a small party at first. But what grew? How did it grow? Same tactics this guy's using. Pretty much the same tactics. They always have a shared milieu, always. You know, their American Communist Party involvement and the tactical outreach. There's the strategy there. They use the tactical outreach to right populists. And but they reject the woke left. Hey, we have something in common. No. I don't care. So here are the differences here. He positions himself as more intellectual, quote, theoretical figure. Although he does use the meme, gimmicky, flashy, smoke and mirrors debate presentation. The Infrared Collective, long form streams, of course, essays on partisanship versus leftism. So he does write some essays. So did Hitler. Hitler wrote hundreds of them. Hinkle is more memey and opportunistic in presentation, I find. Haz style is denser and more confrontational, esoteric. So was Hitler. Okay, so here is the third positionist. This is why you avoid this shit. You avoid this third positionist. And what do they have in common? Well, they have a lot in common with Italian fascism. It has the fascist synchronicity. I'll say it like that. Syncretics. The national anarchism, eco-fascism. Yeah. So what do they do? What do they blend? What is their synthesis here? This third positionist. They blend anti-capitalist economics, corporatism, distributivism, nationalization with what? Authoritarian nationalism, quote, traditionalism, but the same thing I pointed out earlier, rejection of both liberal democracy and Marxist internationalism, even though they're international. So the third positionists with the Italian fascists and with the Hitler types, of course, they're anti-liberal, beyond left and right energy. Like I said, that's what Hitler just said the same thing. You go look up the quote when Hitler talks about that. It's in Siedelman's book, where he talks about how the NSDAP, the National Socialist Arbeiter Party, was neither left or right. They go beyond. They represent a bridge between left and right. Hitler goes further. I am the bridge. So the same thing. They go beyond left and right. And it has the populist appeals to the workers against finance capital, strongman state aesthetics, cultural traditionalism. But has a willingness to engage Groyper adjacent spaces and debates, e.g. with Nick Fuentes, and show tactical overlap. This shit is dangerous. Don't do it. Follow the guy, study the guy, and do what I do too. Do presentations like this too. Do analysis. Go through, some of the key points. What he has in common, the similarities, the differences. What's the core philosophy? What is the Weltanschauung? And you'll see. However, Haz rejects the fascist label. But he grounds his view in the ML historical materialism, not racial mysticism. Well, fascism is Italian fascism. It was invented by Mussolini and Giovanni Gentili. That's nothing to do with Hitler's National Socialism. Hitler's National Socialism was based on race instead of class. I see before me no class or caste or rank or class. I only see people that are bounded by blood. So he just flips it, makes it about racial mysticism, vitalism, and corporatism. Third way. So don't people get confused with Italian fascism and Hitler's National Socialism. They're not to be the same. Per se. So what does Haz see MAGA as? Third position. Third position. Offering. I spelled that wrong. Yeah. Okay, offering. Where's my mouth? Okay, so, what was I going to say here? So, what does he see MAGA as? What is the vehicle he sees it as? Because, Trump's a socialist, he's a statist, and he's spent a lot of our money. So, of course, he's going to be a vehicle for what? What is this a vehicle for? What MAGA can be? What's the conduit? Better to say. For communist articulation. He sees MAGA as a vehicle for communist articulation. Of course he does. But not a national rebirth transcending class. And he critiques on the left call crypto-fascism anyway. Critiques on the left. Well, okay, we already covered about that anyway. Here's where he gets into the other modern online syncretics. He has a lot in common with Nick Fuentes. Everybody knows who that guy is. America First Groiper who says to vote Democrat. So he shares the anti-woke, anti-Israel, populist, nationalist energy and has debated, collaborated with Haz Hinkle circles. This guy has supposedly defeated Praxpan? Yeah, I don't think so. Either the audience was like on heavy drugs when they thought that Haz Al-Din defeated Praxpan. But Fuentes is explicitly Catholic, integrationalist, ethno-nationalist, skeptical of socialism, and prioritizes race, culture, religion over class. Overlaps are tactical, opposing liberal establishment rather than ideological. Why I cannot see. Okay, let me go back and go to his page. Yeah, there's his debate with Halsey English. You can check that out. Whoops. Let me get back to his page here. All right, there you go. Wow, it's running a little slow. Okay. So that's what he kind of has in common with Nick Fuentes, but with slight differences. They both overlap. Their overlapping occurs because they oppose the liberal establishment rather than ideological. Another person, La Roche movement. I found this to be eccentric syncretism with conspiratorial economics, I can't say his name either. Boy, Malthusian productivism. Yeah, it is a bit strange bedfellow alliances. Has had some La Roche overlaps historically. So historically, left conservatives are patriotic socialists. Some strains here of Nasserism or early 20th century national socialists.
Okay, so let me wrap it up now. Through radical objectives and cab agorist news. So to wrap up my Haz thing critique here, and I'm never going to talk about this guy again because this guy is dangerous. These syncretic projects or mimic traps. Now, okay, this summary I wrote this. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to read what I wrote as an essay. I usually do kind of essay form videos anyway. So this is what I come up with here. So these syncretic projects are mimic traps that repackage statism and collectivism with fresh aesthetics to capture alienated energy, i.e. Hitler and SDAP. Haz version is particularly dangerous because it correctly diagnoses liberal woke failures and managerial elite dysfunction, points of partial agreement with agorist critiques of the empire, but channels discontent into renewed vanguardism, central planning, and people's national bank coercion, violating self-ownership and the and the NAP far more explicitly than liberal democracy's slow erosion. Unlike pure right nationalist Fuentes, Haz retains the full Marxist economic critique, so did Hitler, historical apologetics, making his synthesis more internally consistent with authoritarian collectivism, but equally hostile to individual rights, reason, and voluntary exchange. National Bolshevism style fusions often devolve into power cults or geopolitical LARPing rather than genuine counter-economics. Agorists would argue all these compete in the political spectrum instead of building parallel black-gray markets. Objectivists see them as variants of the same altruism collectivist poison, dressed in different tribal flags. Bottom line, Haz represents a sophisticated online era American adaptation of long-running red-brown or partisan syncretism. More ML strategic than truly beyond left-right, but effective as niche recruitment by weaponizing cultural grievances against the regime. Third parties always take advantage of this. They're like vultures, man. This guy's a vulture. It shares DNA with Nazbol, National Bolshevism, and third positionists, but claims fidelity to Lenin, Stalin, Mao. You know, Hitler, when he got older, as he was getting older, he admired Stalin more and more and thought what they were doing with the planned economy was a good idea. What Stalin was doing with the planned economy was a good idea. Here, its longevity depends on whether populist discontent can be disciplined into actual party building or remains online provocation. So, for a radical, individualist, voluntaristic, all such projects are rival gangs offering new masters. So there you go. That's it. Go back to the thumbnail there. That's my critique of this guy. He is poison. Keep away from him. He's dangerous. Reading through this and analyzes it, just red flags were going up. I've heard this before. I've seen this before. I know exactly what this is. I know exactly where it leads. And just please avoid this guy like the plague. He's not the panacea or the medicine you need to cure your loneliness. He is not. You avoid this guy and break the chains of this guy, and anybody like him at all, any third positionist, any that represents himself like this, is just say no thank you. Avoid like the plague. All right, that's all. And join me tomorrow for a critique of my critique. I'm going to critique my 3 videos this week. I do a wrap-up, reviews, what I got right, what I got wrong, how can I do better, etc. It's just sort of a self-correction system that I like to do, and it's to me it's a lot of fun because I get to do a lot of self-reflection and also get to do a lot of self-repair. All right. Anyway, have a good weekend, and we'll see